All right. So good morning. If everybody can hold up their coffee cups. I'm the best. Rich has got a solo cup. I love it. All right. So thank you for joining us for today's professional networking coffee and conversation, or water and conversation, or if it's 5 o'clock somewhere, alcohol and conversation. We'll start with Susan. Susan, if you want to just introduce yourself, tell everybody where you're from, and what we can do to help you today.
Okay, that'd be great. I'm Susan Scott. I'm with Brookdale College Parkway. I am from Dallas, Texas, and a huge Cowboy fan. We're having Wacky Wednesday, so we're wearing our sports gear. If you can see peace, love, and the Dallas Cowboys, that's me. I'm the sales director here at College Parkway for Independent Living. Been doing this for 3 years, and prior to that, I was in Dallas.
Wonderful. So we have a Brookdale gal on, a couple of them.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I'll just follow suit with that. Tammy, you want to introduce yourself? Tell everyone who you are and what you do.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tammy Ricks with Brookdale. I have the pleasure of representing Susan Scott's community, as well as 7 others, also including Kelly Jenkinson's community. I actually support 2 in the Cape, 4 in Fort Myers, 1 in Bonita, and 1 in Naples, and I love what I'm doing. Even in this crazy, crazy time, my teams are the best. So happy to be on these calls. I'm actually trying to perfect Zoom myself. So kudos to you, Amanda, because Jessica has been a great help in trying to have me do my own calls and support the communities virtually. So anyways, glad to be on. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it.
You got it. We'll follow suit. Kelly, you're up.
Hi, everybody. Kelly Jenkinson. I am a new Brookdale gal as of the end of April. Prior to this, I was doing senior living. I've been in the industry for about 13 years. I'm from Chicago, and yes, it's Sports Memorabilia Day. So I'm wearing my Chicago jersey. Well, sure. And I'm just so happy to be part of this virtual networking group. So thank you for having me. I appreciate everything.
Absolutely. Well, I don't want to leave Miss Tanya out, my beautiful Tanya over at Discovery Village. Why don't you tell everybody where you work and all about yourself?
Well, I've got to make a comment on the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm from Kansas City originally, so I'm a huge Chiefs fan. Yay! Won the Super Bowl, but my second love is the Dallas Cowboys. Like since the age of 7, don't know why. Lived there for only a year when I was when I worked for IBM. So I don't know. It's just, but I love the Cowboys. They're my second love. Okay. Anyway, Tanya Lockett.
That's okay. Because I'm from Kansas, so Kansas City Chiefs is my second team.
Oh, we did a flip flop. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'll bring my Cowboys mug next time. Okay. Anyway, I am the community relations director at Discovery Village at the Forum. It is a beautiful community that has several components. We've got independent living with beautiful, well-appointed apartments. Many of them never even lived in, of course, because our community is very, very, very new. And then we have assisted living and secure memory care that is secure and safe for loved ones. We've got great programs going on within all of our communities. We're really adhering to the social distancing, but we are still actively engaged and are accepting new residents with specific practices in place. So thank you all. You guys are wonderful. You've been so supportive in this community, and have a great day.
Perfect. Thank you. I'm going to let Christina go next because I know she's a Chiefs fan and she's just itching to say something.
I am. So, born and raised in Missouri, of course, I'm a Chiefs fan. In fact, my husband just bought me a shirt that says Missouri girl at heart in a Florida world. So I'm pretty excited about my t-shirt. But I'm with Heart, Body, and Mind Home Care. We are locally operated, owned and operated home care here in Lee, Collier, and Charlotte counties. We take a holistic approach to home care. And we are still working, taking care of our clients, and I'm so proud of our company. We are providing, continually providing all the PPE that they need. So we have it in the office, they're able to pick it up. I know that the communities are working hard to keep all their people safe. So I'm so glad we're working together. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Rich, Mr. Chickalo, you're up.
I am Rich Chickalo, Director of Business Development with Comfort Keepers. I've been with Comfort Keepers for about 10 months now, coming in on my year anniversary. Made a big career change about 10 months ago. I was a teacher for 10 years prior to that. And I absolutely love working in home care. Comfort Keepers, we do personal care, companionship care services. We have no minimums, so we can help people for as little as an hour, up to 24/7 coverage. And we are currently taking COVID-19 patients. We have all the proper PPE equipment to handle those cases as well. So that's not, we're accepting all patients. Just to be clear, when we do accept a COVID-19 patient, the COVID-19 caregivers are just for the COVID-19 patients and only the COVID-19 patients. And then we have other caregivers that deal with the rest. But I'm excited to be here. Love coffee and conversation, or blue solo cup and conversation. I am not from Dallas or Missouri. I am from New York. So go Giants. I was actually raised to hate the Cowboys. I hate to admit that, but sorry, Susan. But football wouldn't be football without rivalries like the Cowboys and the Giants, right?
Exactly. And we won't ask what's in your blue solo cup.
Just water. Just water.
All right. Miss Jessica, my love, you're up.
Hi, I'm Jessica Bennett with Park Royal Behavioral Health Services. I am from New Orleans, Louisiana. So my sports team, I have to call them sports because we're SEC, LSU, and the Saints, of course. So we don't like the Cowboys either, but like the Cowboys, the Saints it's definitely a cult. Fans are like a cult. So I get it. Park Royal Hospital, behavioral health, and outpatient services and ECT services. So we are there for any behavioral health needs.
Perfect. And you're right. They are like a cult. Every time I went to a Bucks game, the Saints fans were not nice.
No, well, I mean, hey, it's New Orleans. We're a little bit crazy.
All right, Miss Nancy. We got to get you off.
Can you hear me? There we go. Sorry, guys. I thought I had unmuted myself. I'm Nancy Smith, care coordinator and marketer with Osterhout and McKinney Elder Law Firm. I grew up in Connecticut, so we did not have our own team. I spent years rooting for the New York Jets as well as the Patriots. Boo-hoo. No, I don't know. Everybody's kind of like down with the Patriots. But anyway, since being in Florida, I just kind of watch a lot of different football and all that good stuff. Our office has remained open during the COVID-19 pandemic, and we are still open. We have been meeting our clients' needs via Zoom, other video platforms, or telephone conferences. Some clients still want to come in, and if that's possible, we, put our masks on and gloves and go for it. So we are here to serve.
Perfect. Thank you, Nancy. We appreciate
Thank you.
All right, Miss Sharon.
Hi, everybody. I was actually trying to log on by phone because I'm the incognito person right now. My camera's not working and I had my IT person, which is my son, come in and help me, and he wasn't able to get it on either. But anyways, I'm Sharon Krasinski with Lee Health. I'm the one that runs the complimentary chronic disease, chronic pain, workplace chronic disease workshops. And I just wanted to let you know that we have transitioned into virtual workshops, which I think is a wonderful opportunity right now to help communities with their residents who might be feeling isolated, lonely. It's a great opportunity for us to connect and learn how to be healthier and to help our chronic pain and chronic disease conditions. And it's still a 6-week workshop, 2.5 hours in length. Although I think the virtual will be shorter than 2.5 hours in length. So we're starting our first workshop in July, but I'd be happy to entertain that with any of you. If you'd like to bring a virtual workshop to your communities, please reach out to me.
Perfect. That's awesome. I do know, there's your face, Sharon.
See me? It's on my
Okay. So I'm going to get out of here. And see if I
So
can-
I know that I got a request for PPE equipment. I don't remember who it was. They were asking about gowns, weren't they?
You got it from Lee Health?
No, I'm bringing it up today because I want to see if anyone else has the kind of equipment that this company was looking for. Do you remember the details, Rich?
Do I remember who it was for?
Right.
It was for Thrive.
That's right.
We were able to provide them with 75 gowns. Cypress Lake is lending them 75 gowns, and then Dina is going to go ahead and reimburse them as soon as they come in. So we took care of that yesterday from Cypress Lake.
I told her I would bring it up on today's call because I didn't want to blast it to the whole world. So I appreciate that. Okay. So does anyone have any questions for each other? Any advice or thoughts, or tell us what's happening in your world? Susan.
Rich, Rich, you mentioned that you are taking care of COVID patients.
Mhm.
And I was just kind of wondering what are they mostly at home, or is that what people are still having to do? That if they are testing positive, the doctors and the hospitals are keeping them at home? Could you just kind of talk through that a little bit?
Yeah, so the ones that we are treating are ones that are at home. They're ones that have gone to a testing facility and have tested positive and have been ordered to stay at home. So we've had gowns, we have all the proper PPE equipment. Those caregivers are dedicated to just those clients, so that way there are no cross contamination or anything along those lines. But yeah, we've got a handful right now. We got a handful of them right now, and it's just something that we wanted to do. We wanted to be able to service anybody who needed it, and we know that some of those, especially the seniors who are coming down with COVID, they need that extra help.
Great question, Susan. Thank you. And I know, Rich, did you talk about the food drive? You want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. We are currently right now doing a food drive. We've partnered up with the Jewish Federation, and we've become a donation hub for food going right to the Jewish Federation. You know, during this time, their shelves have been hit pretty hard, and they're in desperate need of some food. So if you want, you can do one of two ways. You can drop it off at our office, and we are located at 12480 Brantley Commons Court in Fort Myers. Or you can order them online and have them delivered right to our office, which we've gotten some deliveries like that as well. We're doing this to the end of June, so to June 30th.
Okay.
Oh, and I want to say one thing. I want to congratulate Kelly and Brookdale Cape Coral, because they are the first entry into the Smile on a Stick challenge that we're doing right now. So we're doing a Smile on a Stick challenge. Tanya, listen up. Jessica, you can even do this at your office. Nancy, you can do this at your office.
How can I do
Smile on a
it?
Stick challenge is you get a bunch of people to put a smile on a stick. You take a picture of it, you tag us on Facebook, and whatever facility or office or whatever gets the most likes is going to win $150 towards
Yeah.
a lunch for their facility.
Yeah.
And basically, we're doing this because
Yes.
everybody's wearing face masks now, so we want to see everybody smile.
I love it. So I can't do it because I don't have a lot of people.
Hey, you, Brittany, and Samantha can get in on it.
There you go. All right, who else? Sharon, it's just so good to see you. I feel like you have to have more to say. Oh, we got you on mute. Gonna unmute you.
There we go. I just did. Thank you. Kelly, I didn't realize you left the facility in Cape Coral, so you're now with Brookdale, so I'll have to connect with you.
Yes, please, because I don't have your email. I lost a lot of my contacts.
Okay, so yeah, I'll have to, maybe offline, we got to connect. Maybe I'll go through Amanda and get your email, with your new email.
Yes. Yes, Susan, my love.
So my sons all know that I always ask questions. So Sharon, when you're doing your virtual chronic classes, what
Yes.
platform are you using? And when you said you could bring it to a community, tell me how that would work. I know you've come here and we've sponsored you and hosted you before. How are
Yes.
you doing that moving forward?
The platform that we use at Lee Health is WebEx. And so we could do it a couple different ways. We could have the community members, if they want to call in to our customer service representative and give us the email, and then we will send them the email invitation out to them for the WebEx. Or like the site coordinators can handle that and provide us with the email addresses. And the participants can either do it in their, residences if they're more comfortable, or some communities may want to do like social distancing where you keep, 6 feet apart and all that, and set it up like in a community room. So it's really whatever. There's a lot of leeway with how we present that. So I'm open to, any opportunities to do that. I just think it's a tremendous opportunity to get this information out to the residents still. And also just to help take up some of this time with all this isolation that we have. So.
Perfect. Jessica, why don't you talk about some of the virtual things that Park Royal's doing? As you guys know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So Jessica's got some stuff going on.
Sure. So we have a series coming up on domestic violence that starts May 29th. And then it varies a little bit every Friday at lunch. So one Friday is domestic violence. One Friday is going to be, I think it's about for taking care of women who have been sexually abused, maybe. I can send an email out. And then the third one is about human trafficking. And then on June 19th, we have one on isolation. And actually, I don't know if I can say yet, partnering with Brookdale. Partnering with Brookdale on for June is Brain Health Awareness Month. And so we're partnering to do one on brain health at the end of June, towards the end of June. So more information to come on all of those. We also have our virtual IOP and PHP. So if you have any residents in your facilities who can't leave or don't want to leave or whatever, we're doing IOP, which is intensive outpatient virtually. So be able to get that therapy. You're on mute, Amanda.
Thank you. I said, I know all of our internet's a little choppy right now, but one thing you bleeped out in the beginning when she's talking about the very first one is going to be on domestic violence, which is, drastically increased during this social isolation and everything that's going on. So I'll make sure that we send out any flyers. Jessica, if you want to send me any collateral that we can get out to everyone so they can pass it along to all of their residents and patients and friends and family.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Ma'am Tammy.
Oh, am I muted by the host? Did you just mute me?
No,
No, I just got a sign. It's like muted by the host.
myself and I accidentally hit you for a second.
Oh, okay. So I wanted to let everybody know that Rich actually taught this son back several years ago. So what a small world this is. Wanted to mention that. Also on another call, we're slowly but surely getting out there in the community again. Obviously, we're unable to visit, community partners, other assisted livings, other skills. What we talked about is possibly finding neutral locations to practice social distancing, but get in front of people at the same time. I wanted to throw that out there to see if anybody knows of a place. We talked about, Jessica, help me out. I know that we talked about Park Royal at some point because it's a great venue that's nowhere near the floors. It's right when you walk in the front door, you just get let in and it's right there. It's a big room. We also talked about in Cape Coral, possibly the senior center because the seniors are not there right now. So if any of you have a location that's, central or neutral that we can invite people or post, different meetings and meet. Going to sit in a restaurant. Plus it's getting so hot out there, that outdoor seating. So anyways, if anybody knows of anywhere or interested in meeting, let me know. That's it.
Millennial Brewing Company.
I'm up for that. I am up for it. I'm a wine girl, but I do, enjoy an occasional beer here and there. So.
All right. Wendy is just joining us. Hi, Wendy. Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. You want to tell everybody who you are and who you're with?
Yes, I am Wendy, and I'm sorry I'm late, from Brookdale, the Colony, and Fort Myers. We are a standalone memory care community.
We got all the Brookdale girls on the call.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are so very welcome. So we've went around and introduced everyone already. Do you have anything that you want to announce? Any virtual meetings that you're having? Anything going on in the community? Any help that you need?
Oh, you're so sweet to ask. No, we are, right now we are not accepting new residents, but we're hoping that will open up soon, maybe in a couple of weeks. We're doing pretty well over here on lockdown. The residents are doing well. Keeping them busy, trying to do fun activities in the hallway from their doorways. We have a cute little name. We have picture badges for our that we put on our nameplates on our clothes so that they can see who we are because they didn't recognize us with our masks on. So things are going really well. Thanks for asking.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Anybody have any questions for anyone else? Okay, so our fun thing for today.
Wait.
Oh, Tanya.
So on the 27th, which is a Wednesday, we're going to be doing a masquerade mingle. So we want you to wear a masquerade mask and bring your wine, Tammy, and it's going to be from 4 to 5. So at the end of the day, not quite 5 o'clock, but it's at the end of the day, and there'll be a flyer going out by Friday that'll give all the details. There's going to be some other things associated with it, but I just want to get that out there. It's the 27th from 4 to 5. Okay?
Is it virtual or in person?
It's virtual.
Okay.
It's virtual. Okay? So.
All righty. Okay, fun fact for today. Tell me about the first place you lived when you moved out of your house, when you were just getting into the world. If it's a college dorm, skip that and tell me the next one. We'll start with you, Susan, if you're ready.
Okay, I was 19 years old and I moved from Kansas, K-State to University of North Texas. And I moved into a efficiency apartment that was absolutely horrible. My parents were funding me because my future husband had moved to Dallas, and so they put me up in this apartment. It was very inexpensive, and there was a very good reason for it. It was horrible, but
Okay.
I was on my own, and
Yeah.
I was driving a Starsky and Hutch red Ford Torino.
There you go.
I love it.
I'm expecting most people are going to have the horror stories. Rich, tell me about yours. Getting out on your own for the first time.
Getting down on my own for the first time was actually when I moved down here to Florida. So I made a huge jump from New York to Florida. So my mom was a basket case for months after that. But I moved in with my girlfriend and her sister down here at a cheap little apartment that was cheap for a reason. And, you know, we had no idea like anything about the area. So we had gotten some, you know, we got an apartment in a very dicey area in Fort Myers, and now we know why. We stayed there for about 6 months. The coolest part about the place was it had a fireplace in it, but I had never used the fireplace before, and I didn't know you had to open up the vent. So the first time that we lit a fire, smoked out the whole house. It was great. It was great.
Oh no.
That's my story.
Okay. Tammy.
So my parents let me know that right after I graduated from Florida State, go Noles, that they were going to be moving to Marco Island. So couldn't move back home and got an apartment with my very best guy friend. We were like brother and sister. And all I remember is he used to watch the Spanish network just to irritate me because I couldn't figure out anything that they were saying. And neither could he. But he would just do it to irritate me, hence the brother and sister relationship. And I think we lived together for about a year and then lived on my own, which was awesome until I met my husband, Jamie. He moved in on the 3rd floor of our apartment complex, which he called the penthouse, which was not the case. And I was on the 1st floor. So yeah, that was my first time
Very
by myself.
So that's how you met your hubby. Awesome. All right.
And that I lured him in with a Bud Light, which I did back in the day. I did like beer. So
So you're down for Millennial Brewing Company then?
I am down for all cocktails. I don't discriminate. Except
All
tequila.
right. Not tequila. Yeah, no. There's a story there. I'll hit you up for that later. Tanya.
My
Can you hear
story. Am I on? Yay! So I marched, graduated from college, marched, and the very next day, I got a job offer that I had been applying for like 3 months, and they said you have to be here tomorrow. So I moved from Central Missouri State, which is Warrensburg, if anybody knows Missouri, to Kansas City the very next day, and I lived at the Hyatt Regency for 3 months. And the company took care of it, and it was right across the street from our building. So I would just walk to my office. I would literally walk across the street, go up to the 19th floor, and be at work every day. So that was wonderful. And then I got an apartment, and that was like, 20 years old, and it was kind of scary, but it was a brand new apartment complex that was being built in sets. So there were like 4 of us to start with, and it was kind of weird, but that's my story. Then I met my husband. We got a townhouse, and then the rest is history. Moved to Florida.
Yep. All right, Kelly.
Well, mine started shortly after graduating high school. I was 17 years old and I decided to go and take a year off before starting college. So I applied for the job out in South Seas Resort, and that's on Captiva Island. I moved into their employee housing for a very, very expensive price that was deducted from my paycheck every week. And I lived in the shared apartments there. And I lived there for about a year. And believe it or not, that's also where I met my fiance through friends out there.
Wow, there you go. Awesome. I love it. All right, Sharon.
Okay, well, my story is a little boring. I grew up in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, went to college in Edinburgh, Pennsylvania, and then for the entire rest of my life so far, I've lived in Fort Myers. I met my husband in college, we got married, and we just have moved around in Fort Myers, Port Charlotte area.
Awesome. Jessica.
Where in Port Charlotte are you?
I used to live in Deep Creek, but that was way back in probably like late 1980s, early 1990s.
Oh, I live in Deep Creek off of
I
Deep
love
Creek
Deep
Boulevard.
Creek. Yes.
Richmond
Oh,
20.
and we'll have to talk. Yes, I loved living there.
I'm on the end of Mocha Court. Anyway, okay, sorry.
It's okay. I'll look y'all up when I go there. I'll be there soon. I was 19. I was in college, and my parents moved, so I had to get an apartment, which I wanted to do anyway. And my friend was, I had a friend that was 26 who had this beautiful apartment and looking for a roommate. So I moved in with her, and so I had my first place was super, super nice, but it was only $450 a month, which is really dating me, telling how old I am. So my half was only $225, and I worked 2 jobs to pay it. But it was very nice.
Yep. All right, Nancy.
Yes. After living in college housing, decided that I wanted to get out into an apartment. So my first apartment, I had 3 roommates. And so, you know how, and it's hard. So we were like pretty crammed in there and having to share the kitchen and all the chores and all that stuff. So it had its moments. They were really nice, but it was just kind of tough. But, and after that, my sister and I moved into an apartment together. And like Rich, unfortunately, was kind of in an area that we didn't expect it to have some issues. We weren't there very long either. So anyway, just those growing up stories and things that happen to young people.
Yeah, I think we've all been in that situation when you're moving to a new area. All right, Christine.
Well, I know exactly how many years ago it was because my anniversary was 36 years ago yesterday. And I lived at home with mom and dad until I married Donald, which I was only 20. So 36 years ago this week, we moved into our apartment after we got married. And I'm really going to date myself because our rent was $290 a month.
Wow.
And we had a lime green shag carpet.
Oh, I remember that kind of carpet. I love it. Okay, Wendy.
Okay, first of all, sorry I don't have my face on the screen. Well, actually, it's probably good for you guys, but I don't have a camera on my computer. I have an old computer here. But anyways, I grew up in the Amazon, Brazil, in a place called Belém do Pará, and I lived there for 18 years. And then I moved to the U.S. From there, and I went to school in Costa Mesa, California, went to junior college there, lived with my aunt and uncle, and then I moved on to Biola University to finish my degree. So that's my background. So I'm fluent in Portuguese, and Jessica and I have talked about this because she dated a Brazilian guy. So I love Brazilian food, I love Brazilian people, and eu falo português e eu gosto muito de América. So there. Are you there? Sorry, everybody went, I can't hear anybody now. Does anybody?
Well, they put themselves on
Yes.
mute.
We're
That's-
here.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm sorry. It just totally went. It was weird. I couldn't see anybody moving or anything. I think my screen froze. But anyway, so that's my story. And I love
Awesome.
these questions, and I loved getting to know everybody better. Thanks for asking that question. It was fun.
Getting to know you. I told you
Yep.
guys, like, I love ending them with this, but I'm running out of ideas. So I really want some people
Well, what
to
about
start
you?
emailing
What
me.
about you?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell. Yeah. Okay. Is that what you're going to ask, Susan? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So mine actually is a pretty cool story. I was 16 when I graduated high school. I graduated a semester early. So when I went to college, I just turned 17, and I did stay in the dorms for the first semester, and I was miserable. And we're still best friends. My roommate's name was Amanda, and the two of us got a house like across the street from the college. There were very few houses on that strip, and the landlord was insistent on not renting to college students. And we got around that because Amanda's mom is just the sweetest little lady you've ever met in your life. And she just talked him into letting us rent it. And it was $500 a month, so it's $250 a piece. And it was an awesome house. It pretty much could have been like a frat house, but it was just us two girls, and we had both had a little dog that we got while we were living there, and it was just an awesome experience. I could walk to class, roll out of bed, and walk to class at like 8:30 in the morning, and be there with no problem, and not have to worry about parking on campus and stuff like that. So I had a pretty cool experience there. So thank you
Cool.
for asking. Susan, did you have something else you wanted to ask?
What school was that?
Valdosta State University, right on the Georgia-Florida line.
Oh.
Yeah.
No,
'cause
I don't have anything else.
Always wanted to move to Florida. My grandparents, great-grandparents, and friends, aunts and uncles live down here. But I was born and raised in Georgia. So as soon as I was able to drive, I was driving back and forth. And so that was 4 hours away from my home and 4 hours away from my grandparents in a town where I knew absolutely not one single soul. So I've been in that situation where you're in an area that you really don't know on several occasions. I've bounced around quite a bit in Florida. So it's been fun though. Yeah.
Neat.
All right.
By the way,
go ahead, Wendy.
Sorry, I was just going to say on the Florida-Georgia border, there's a checkpoint. It's like Checkpoint Charlie. It's like the one that we have in California, from Mexico to California, and they're like all these guards there, and they're putting people in secondary and asking you questions, and I don't know what they're doing if they send you off somewhere, but it's weird. It's like you're in another country before they let you in Florida. So my husband went to California to pick up my daughter's stuff in her dorm, and when he returned, he was asked all these questions, and he was freaked out because he was worried he was going to answer the wrong thing, and then they weren't going to let him come back to to Florida. So anyway,
I've been driving that. I've been driving that strip since have been 16, and we call it just Cop Central. You're like, you can't speed for that first like 5 miles. I mean, not even 1 mile over. But I haven't had any trouble there. I just know that they're there,
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you guys don't have anything else to add, let's raise our cups. You the best. We'll see you next time for Coffee and Conversation. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda.
Bye.
Thank you, Amanda.